Good evening, everyone. Welcome back to the channel. Today, we're going to discuss the things we know about the C8 Corvette as of May 17th, 2019. Alright guys, so there are a lot of rumors surrounding this car, and most of them seem to be believable, and in some cases have even been all but proven to be true. So we're going to discuss it all today. That way, if you haven't been following the C8 adventure, you'll be all caught up. Okay, so let's start with the obvious. The biggest point of this car. It is, of course, the new Corvette, and it is, in fact, a mid-engine car. A lot of early rumors suggested that this was actually a Cadillac, or in some cases, a Fiero. This, of course, isn't true, and we've heard directly from GM that it is, in fact, a mid-engine Corvette. Next, let's talk about when you're going to see this car. It's going to be shown to the public on July 18th in California and streamed live pretty much everywhere, so as many people as possible can see it. It's going to be revealed on July 18th, and it's likely to have a production date starting as early as September 2019 to be available early 2020. There was a leaked option list that was sent out to the dealers by GM showing the available options for the car, which of course confirmed this car before GM actually did, but it did have some interesting options on that sheet. I'll put a picture up here on the screen, but I wanted to touch on a few of them that were more interesting in my opinion. This will be the first Corvette to include a front end lift, which will make getting that low sitting car into your driveway a lot easier. It's also going to include a video rear mirror system that will always show what's behind you and basically make blind spots a thing of the past. The car will have a 6.2 liter updated LT1 engine, which will be appropriately named an LT2, and it will have around 530 horsepower in the base configuration. One of the new colors introduced for this car will be called Zeus Bronze, and it will have an 8-speed dual clutch transmission with no option for a manual. I've made a video before talking about all of these leaked options, which I'll link up above to the top right if you want to hear or see more. As of now, the C8 has been spotted with 3 different rim variations so far, all of which are available in carbon flash painted, silver, or a machine finish face. No chrome options were shown on the leaked spec sheet, which is definitely an interesting twist. The automotive industry has been moving more towards a black instead of a chrome accent for a while now, and I think the C8 mid-engine Corvette may be the first one to fully accept that fact and not offer chrome at all. As of now, the test mule cars have been spotted with the following tire sizes: 245/35 19s in the front, 305/30 20s in the rear. The car has been seen with what appears to be a Targa top, and other models seen that appear to have a full Spider-style convertible top. This was recently leaked via a Corvette forum member that claims to have a source close to the build that states both versions will be mechanical in operation. There have been a lot of renderings of this car, all showing Targa tops and Spider-style convertibles, but there is some controversy right now around what the car will actually look like at the reveal date, due to leaked information suggesting the car may have fake panels under that camo wrap to keep us all guessing on what the final design could look like. Which means these renderings could be dead on accurate or completely wrong. We won't know for sure until July 18th. If the forum member is to be believed, we will be getting a base C8 with a 6.2 liter engine pushing around 530 horsepower, and then later a Z06 with a 730 horsepower twin turbo engine, and then finally a ZR1, which of course may be possibly called a Zora, with 830 horsepower from the same engine as the Z06, but assisted with an additional electric motor on the front wheels. This of course leaves the possibility of an all-wheel drive option on the table for the ZR1. The ZR1 or Zora model is said to be the only model that will get any active aero bits as well. There's been a slew of patents filed by GM showing active aero for everything from the front splitter to the rear diffuser, so it could definitely be the active aero king. The models are expected to start around $65,000 and top out around $140,000, which is very similar to the pricing of the current C7 Corvette. Of course, none of this information has been confirmed yet, but it all seems legit and quite likely to be true in my opinion. With the big reveal coming up soon, we're going to talk more about the base model C8, which is to be called a Stingray, and what we're likely to see on July 18th. GM has a website dedicated to this car's reveal with a countdown to July 18th and some launch videos for you to watch. I'll put a link up on the screen here if you're interested in taking a look. It's a pretty neat site, especially if you're interested in keeping an eye on that countdown. The car will likely debut with the Targa and Spider convertible options, with Zeus Bronze and a few other new colors to go along with it. The pricing for the C8 to be debuted on July 18th, like I said, is to start around $65,000. Just yesterday, Motor Trend wrote up an article on the C8 along with two of their new renderings. While these particular renderings were among the nicer ones, I still don't think we've seen what this car is really going to look like. Motor Trend's article didn't really give us anything new that we didn't already know. Aside from the two renderings, it was kind of old information. Outside of the Motor Trend article, we got to see some spy video of the car on the road the other day, and we got to hear that glorious 6.2 liter engine in its natural habitat. The acceleration on the car looked very impressive, and the car looked more proportionally correct to me in this video. Other videos I've seen it in, it looks too long, and this one seemed to really have everything perfected. Maybe it's because we're getting close to that reveal date, and some of the extra padding is being pulled off, but either way, the car is really starting to shape up. Here's another video demonstrating exactly what that C8 is going to sound like. Lastly, we're going to talk about availability. As with all new Corvettes, they're a little hard to get initially due to high demand, low production, and the dealer markup. There are a few dealerships out there right now that are claiming they will not be marking this car up, and while that's still to be seen, it is nice to hear. There are a few dealerships taking deposits right now for this car, and while I don't like the idea of giving a dealership money for a car that doesn't exist yet, and something that they may not even get initially, there are a few other dealerships out there that will gladly put your name on a list without any money down. If you're really interested in getting this C8, definitely seek out one of those dealerships that will put you on that list without any money down to avoid any kind of problems in the future. Like I've said 100 times, guys, I am overly excited for this car. I cannot wait to see this thing in the flesh, so to speak. And every time I see a new rendering or see a new spy video, it is just unbelievably exciting. While I'm hugely excited for the initial launch of this car, I can't help but be semi-disappointed in the fact that we're not going to get a manual transmission. There are rumors suggesting that the Z06 will get a manual transmission, and I really hope it does. I've talked about this 100 times. I'm sure I'm probably boring you guys to death about it, but the manual transmission is a big deal, and there are only a few car companies out there still making the manual transmission in their higher-end cars, and I applaud those ones. Just recently, I read that Ferrari and Lamborghini both have revisited the idea of making a manual transmission in their car and decided against it due to many factors, such as the people who actually buy their cars not wanting it, the manual transmission maybe not being able to hold up to their horsepower, whatever it was. Ferrari and Lamborghini are out of the manual transmission game. There have been reports from Porsche and Maserati that they have both revisited the manual transmission thing and decided that they will continue with a manual transmission in some of their cars. That's fantastic news. I love hearing that, and I really hope GM decides to do something similar with the C8 Corvette. With the pending release of the new Ford Mustang GT500, Ford was also very open to the idea of eventually putting a manual transmission in this car. And again, that is something that is just fantastic. I hope that we can get the same kind of treatment for this Corvette. That's going to do it for today's video, guys. Like I said, I'm beyond excited for this car, and I can't wait to see it. It's no doubt going to be a game changer, and every day we get closer to that July 18th reveal, I get more and more excited. If you guys have any questions regarding this car or anything else on my channel, feel free to hit me up in the comments, Instagram, email, or Twitter. Give me a big thumbs up if you liked today's video, and please subscribe if you haven't yet. I'll catch you guys in the next upload.